Welcome to another episode of the Pagemaster with me, the Pagemaster! We're just going to take another page out of a book and tell a story about a movie that was never made. Today we're going to be talking about full moon movies and Charles Band. Recently I did a clip for the micro-genre series, which I'm assuming I'm going to put this clip after that, like the week after, so hopefully you all just watched it. Where we were talking about Marvel movies that came out before Blade, and I was talking about, in the Doctor Strange chapter, about how Doctor Mordrid was a movie made to basically rip off Doctor Strange, homage Doctor Strange for a lack of a better term. And I quoted from this book here. It came from the video aisle, which is pretty huge. I haven't read the whole thing. I've read a bunch of excerpts so far. Chronicling Charles Band and Full Moon Studios releases. Now, for those of you who didn't get a chance to see that other clip, Charles Band got a chance to work with Jack Kirby on two movies that they never fully developed. One of them was Doctor Mordrid, which when they worked on it was called Doctor Mortalis, which was a Doctor Strange ripoff or homage, and after Jack Kirby left the project, Charles Band moved on with it anyway, changed it from Mortalis to Mordrid, got Jeffrey Combs involved, and basically tells a B-movie Doctor Strange type story. It was really cool. I really liked it. Go check out the other clip for a little bit more information on that. And today we're going to be just covering a page of this book where they talk about the sequels to Doctor Mordrid that never happened. It would have been planned out as a trilogy, and since I enjoy the first one, I would have really liked a trilogy, so let's get right into it. As one might expect, plans to turn Mordrid into another Full Moon franchise were floated and sequels were set in motion, the first bearing the title Doctor Mordrid 2, Crystal Hell. As written by Ethan Reef and Cyrus Voris, Crystal Hell's script made it to a third draft dated 1994 before being abandoned due to the Paramount split. By all accounts, Reef and Voris based Mordrid 2's main villain, unsuccessful 2-bit criminal Joey Lux, and his circle of villainy on a group of low-level gangsters they encountered in New York City. Dr. Mordrid 2's screenplay sees Lux and his sidekick Mooch break into Mordrid's place to steal the Crystallis Spectralis Infernalis, a puzzle Mordrid had spent weeks trying to solve. Somehow Lux is sucked into the crystal and Mordrid goes in to rescue him, but not before Lux is scratched by a demon. Back in New York City, Mordrid wipes the memories of the two criminals, but Lux soon begins to transform. His arm turns into a crystal talon, and realizing his new powers, he starts exacting revenge on every criminal boss in the city who has mocked him, starting with the obese crime lord Jimmy G, to whom he owes $5,000. Naturally, Mordrid must stop him. As the plot progresses, Mooch ultimately becomes an ally of the Doctor when he sees Lux drunk with power and beginning to lose control, becoming an increasing threat to the entire planet. Crystal Hell led directly to the planned Part 3, Shadow Queen, which involves Mordrid battling in the fourth dimension with occultist Sabella Rune, who plans to assassinate the Monitor and become the supreme controller of the universe. Although not making it much past the treatment stage, this episode obviously aimed to stretch the Mordrid mythos further, with Gunnar the Jailer returning as an ally, the good doctor being punctured by an amulet and turning into the evil Dark Mordrid, and a tender coda that suggests Mordrid plans to give up his power of immortality so he can grow old with his earthly love Samantha. Mark Manos was prepping to direct Dr. Mordrid 2 and possibly 3, explains Voris. We had a preliminary meeting with him. Charlie was still gung-ho to make the movies, and then Paramount brought the hammer down, and that was basically the end of that. So there we get a glimpse into what a Dr. Mordrid trilogy would have looked like had it not been for, the powers that be at work, forcing it not to be. I highly suggest people go out and find a copy of It Came from the Video Aisle if you're a fan of Full Moon movies. This book is great. It's got lots of pictures, full color poster art and stuff in the section with Jack Kirby. It also had some sketches that he was working on, storyboards and the like, which is very, very cool. A must for any fan. See you next time. If you would care to hit the like button, the subscribe, all of that would really help to grow the channel if you want more of these kinds of stories.